And in New South Wales, the JODI MCKAY leadership of Labor goes from bad to worse. She will hang on for the time being because the attack by the Australian Workers' Union and the Health Services Union, who commissioned the dire polling, would be seen, if MCKAY were rolled, as running the Labor Party. Funny that. Don't the unions run the party anyway? The bulk of Labor MPs believe a new leader is needed and that Labor cannot win as it is in New South Wales. They also believe if nothing's done urgently, they'll finish up like the West Australian Libs. But they're terrified also that if they change leaders at the behest of two powerful unions, they open themselves up to the allegation that they're prisoners of the union movement. This is how stupid they are. Of course, Labor are in lockstep with the union movement, but only their opponents worry about that. Rank and file Labor members couldn't care less. What they care about is hopeless leadership. And without aggressive leadership that cuts through, authentic Labor people won't vote Labor. Neville Wran was once accused of promoting one of his union mates to head the public service. He looked at the questioner and said, "I don't understand the question. Are you suggesting I should be promoting my enemies?" This is where Labor and Liberal are weak. Neither knows who their real friends are. And if you suck up to the Greens, the voter says, well, I may as well have the authentic product. If a change in leadership for the Labor Party in New South Wales enthuses genuine Labor to vote Labor, the coalition are in trouble. It's exactly the same in Victoria. I made my views known on this last night without talking to Peta Credlin. Yes, and we're close friends. I will speak to her shortly. But I'm telling you this, and I said it last night, she'd wipe the floor with Daniel Andrews or whoever Victorian Labor decide to line up against her. I mentioned Liberal people in the Victorian Parliament who'd been there for a long time, unnoticed. The process is easy. One of them resigns. The party looks after such a person. Why not? Credlin goes in, straight to the leadership. If a so-called party organisation can't organise that, what can they organise? The public response to my comments has been extraordinary. This morning, the spill motion, which is where all leadership positions are declared vacant, the spill motion in the Victorian Liberal Party was lost. The Parliamentary Party backed Michael O'Brien, 22-9. A good thing. Are they waiting for Credlin? As Terry Barnes mentions in today's Spectator Online, why they are even bothering with such destructive party games is a mystery. The next Liberal Premier of Victoria isn't even in the Parliament. Does he mean Peta Credlin? Because Michael O'Brien, well, you couldn't pick this bloke out in a police lineup. The public are not dunces, but they are fed up. On my Facebook page, Alan Jones Australia, Simone wrote, I really hope the Victorian Liberal Party gets some brains and accept Peta Credlin into the party. Should be so good for Victoria. Carol, she definitely would have my vote. It'd be a breath of fresh air to have someone who cares for Victoria. Danielle, now this is a person who should be challenging the opposition leadership. We need Credlin to govern Victoria. Susan, it'd be a godsend for Victoria and for Australia if Peta Credlin took part in government. Here's hoping sanity reigns in Victoria. The text line last night after my comments was on fire. Luke said, hi, Alan, Credlin for PM is our better bet. Pam from Tasmania, they're all over Australia, Alan. Peta Credlin in the Victorian Liberals would be like a massive diamond to them. Nick, Peta Credlin as Liberal leader, bring that on and bring it on quickly. Grit, courage, decency, experience, street smarts. Peta has it all. She's the real deal. Margie from WA, go Peta Credlin. For Premier of Victoria, Peta would eat Andrews alive. Such a clever lady. She always does her homework. Now, if Michael O'Brien, the Victorian Liberal leader, and the party can't see the writing on the wall and don't understand the WA result, they're either dull observers, slow learners, or both. Jeff Kennett and Michael Kroger, start making some calls now. Do what's necessary. It's not up to Peta Credlin. It's up to the Victorian Liberal Party. Make it happen. A political fight between Daniel Andrews and Peta Credlin would be Ali versus Frazier all over again, but it would be no rumble in the jungle. Chapter 6 of the book of Daniel tells how the legendary Daniel was saved from the lions by the God of Israel. Well, I'm telling you this, nothing will save this Daniel from the lioness of the Liberal Party. Just let her out of the Liberal cage and watch. What do you think? Alan at skynews.com.au. The text line 0414 000 848.